week at sea, we finally made it to the Sandblast Islands of Panama. It was like stepping into a different world. Immediately after anchoring, we met our very first Kuna Indians and were able to buy some of their handmade molas.
How did you make these? This took a long time.
I know.
Like these two. How'd you make so many? Mama, I like these two. You probably have like... Mama, I like these two.
So what did you think of the 7-day passage?
I didn't like it.
Was it worse or better than what you thought? I mean, seriously, honestly. It was better. It was better than what I expected. We can go back over to the other place.
We didn't waste any time checking out the beautiful palm tree lined beaches and the really cool hangouts in Sandblast.
I need to get on your...
I hear it.
Yeah, we're good. Awesome. When I first taste hair. It's a little good.
What made Sandblast even better was spending time with some of our good friends we hadn't seen since Grenada.
But all this is to get like 2 spoonfuls of cookies.
And I need to open some too.
This tastes like milk.
You like it, John? No, it's no good.
We made it through the tricky cuts and around the submerged reefs to make it to the different anchorages in Sandblast.
What are you working on?
I'm working on insurance for the South Pacific, for going through the canal in South Pacific, Galapagos, cyclone season. The quote I got back said we could only spend cyclone season in New Zealand and we had to be there by December 1st. I'm trying to clarify to see if we can be in like certain parts of Australia also, because I asked for that, either New Zealand or Australia, and they only said New Zealand. So I'm having to get them to clarify whether we can spend it in Australia, like parts of Australia that don't really get hit with cyclones. But wait to hear back from them. I'm also messaged our Galapagos agent with that policy, asking him will it be sufficient for entry into Galapagos. Waiting on them to hear back from that. Messaging Andy from Cowabunga. He's taking our sail to the sail loft at Shelter Bay Marina, the one we ripped the other day. He's taking it there for us. So nice of him to do that, so they can go ahead and get it and look at it and see if they can repair it and hopefully get started work on it before we get there.
You've got raw fingers. Let me see. And what's that from?
House cane coconuts.
Yeah, kiddo. Some working hands there, bud.
It's like this part.
We had to pick up anchor and head to El.50 to officially check into Panama.
We're only about 10 miles away from El.50, so we're going to run down here and check in and then go back to where we were after we check in. It's pretty interesting here. The charts are there's a lot going on when you look at the charts. You have to zoom in because there's a lot of little small shoals and sandbars and reefs, and there's reefs everywhere, so you have to really zoom in and make sure you're not going to hit any reefs. I'm trying to check into El.50 here in Sandblast, and it's very hectic when you first get here. There's like all these boats just come to you trying to sell you molas and all kind of stuff. It's a little overwhelming. There's one guy wanting to translate for us and take us to immigration, and we told him we're good. We got Google Translate, but he was telling us we need copies of our passports and our ZARP. So we're making copies. I had to dig his printer out of out from under Jack's bed. I got it out. We did confirm with some of our friends that they made them have copies of their passports and their Zarts.
So when we pulled up to check into Sandblast, there was about 3 boats waiting on us to anchor, and they're in these beautiful like dugout canoes. The women are wearing like all the traditional clothing of like the Kuna people, and they're selling these beautiful molas. One lady had a doll and everything. Well, I've done bought so many molas that we're like out of cash. The advice I would give someone coming to Sandblast and you live on but go to the ATM before you get here, because they have so many beautiful designs and beautiful artwork. They have bags, they hand make these beautiful bags. This one lady had a doll. I mean, it's not outrageously expensive either. It's like $20, $30, $40. We saw some very intricate mullets for $50, and they were willing to bargain with you. So yeah, hit the ATM before you come to the Sandblast Islands. We're getting ready to go check in, and something that's unusual here is they want everyone to come. They want everyone, all crew and everything. So normally it's just Daniel. You usually we just want to see the captain. So it's kind of odd for all of us to be going to check in right now. It's fine.
Pretty payphone right here now.
Make sure your shoes are off.
Wow, he was sitting right beside me. That's where I came here.
Alright guys.
Shows on our, like when we're online, that we're in Colombia, so it restricts us from watching certain things, and we watched some TV shows. Like we've been watching Chicago PD, so I started looking at VPNs and looked at several and ended up going with Surfshark. Surfshark, and I got a deal like you had to buy 24 months worth, but it gave you 2 months free. So it was 26 months of it for like $79. You just install the app on your phone, then you choose what country you want your
network to be.
Show up as being in the U.S.
Spanish?
No.
Daddy's Island. That was quick. See a palm tree?
Yeah. Try to pick it up. Don't pick it up too hard. You see how the roots have taken into the ground?
Yeah.
Oh, don't lift it too hard. Yeah, a little palm tree.
I got the quote back from our current insurance agent. Guess how much they quoted us?
How much? $15,000.
Higher.
We have one quote for how much right now?
Like $5,800.
$5,800, and then so this woman wants $20,000. $16,000 for insurance for the South Pacific.
If I had a boat, I would sail out, take every brother and sister of mine. We'd roll in the sunshine and sleep when it's dark.
The next day, we moved to the Cardi Islands with 2 of our buddy boats. We were unable to get holding off a reef on the outside of the islands, so we were told to anchor right in the middle, with 3 islands surrounding us. Spending time in the Cardi Islands was a super unique and cultural experience. anchored, 2 canoes pulled up to our boat. These 2 people together were quite comical. The lady lost her canoe and it drifted away, so Daniel and Jack had to retrieve it. And the man in the water couldn't seem to stay in his canoe. The lady had some big laughs every time he lost his balance and fell into the water.
You got a swimmer. Be aware.
We were invited to a local's home for a traditional dinner, a fish and rice, and got a tour of the island.
That's all right, I'll smell it.
Very beautiful plate. Thank you.
Yeah, this is all super. That looks beautiful.
I think we may just
Whatever you want.
stay
Two times,
near
three times.
Kalon, you know what I mean? It's just such a haul from here to Kalon.
Where's your
I
plate?
feel like we'll be risking spending a lot of time traveling possibly in rough weather if we just have to go and do that.
Mama, all these
After an incredible time in the Cardi Islands, we had to say goodbye to our dear friends and start moving closer to the canal entrance. Our transit date is getting close. But before that, we are headed more north in the Sandblast Islands to wait a day for a better weather window to head to Portobello to pick up Daniel's parents. They are going to transit the canal with us. Luckily, this little weather stop was one of the prettiest anchorages we found in Sandblast.
Where are we coming in at?
We're coming into Linton Bay. I feel like I'll spend the night here. I don't know if we're going to get my parents to come here tomorrow or move on further towards Kalon or towards Shelter Bay. See how it is here. And, spend the night here, probably get some fuel here. And if it's nice and a good place for my parents to come, we may just get them to come here and then move on that way after they get here.
so great. It's so great.
Just toss it over there.
I'm going to get my...
Okay, let Jack roll it for you, Juju.
You see the whole thing?
No, I think you just took a bite.
It says I'm full. You don't like this. It says I'm full.
We ended up picking Daniel's parents up in Portobello and went to dinner in the historic town and toured the nearby fort.
Murderer. Stuff in my shoe, bro. There's stuff in my shoe. Oh, that's...
We sailed down, past the entrance to the Panama Canal, to the Chagras River to anchor for the night. After anchoring, we walked up to the ruins of Fort San Lorenzo.
What is it carrying?
Is that months?
Bamboo. What the hell?
Long before the completion of the Panama Canal, this part of Panama was already used to avoid going the long way around Cape Horn. Ships unloaded cargo at the mouth of the Chagras River, then flat-bottom river barges moved the people and the cargo upriver to within 13 miles of Panama City, where then donkeys took over on the Camino de Cruces trail.
It's getting kinda crazy up in here. Everybody wants a ride in the war.
you for watching.